A real estate agent's job is to get the best possible price for his property, and he wants every single person who walks in the door to try to make an offer or try to get them motivated to buy that particular property. That's their job. Our objectives are a little bit different because we're trying to really match the property perfectly to our clients' needs. But the agent will certainly, be using a range of tactics to try and extricate every last dollar that they can out of that buyer. And the buyers only buy a property a few times in their life, so they're not skilled and prepared for the questions, and their body language will be read by the client, by the agent. He'll understand, how keen they are on it by the way they're acting, the comments they make, and so I'm a professional negotiator who's negotiating on property every day. What I also find is that when I'm representing a client and I'm talking to real estate agents, they tend to be, we kind of cut to the chase a fair bit, and we're working alongside each other, to sort of get a deal done. And I tend to find that the agents are a lot more, they share a lot more information with me than they probably would with a buyer, because they don't want to waste my time as a professional working alongside them because of the ongoing relationship potential that we have. So they kind of respect that. And so I tend to kind of get a lot more to the point, where a lot of, buyers probably get their time wasted sometimes by thinking they're in with a chance of getting a property, and then, it goes to auction and sells for way over what they were hoping to get it for. Obviously, to negotiate, we need to know what terms you've got, or what you're capable of. Do you need to sell your house in Sydney? Do we need to organise, find something with a long settlement? Do you need to get your finance applications and stuff like that underway? Obviously, the better prepared we are to negotiate, the cleaner terms that we can offer, can definitely, benefit the price that we can negotiate for our clients. The other really important thing is for us to identify what the vendor's ideal terms may be. What we find with the off-market properties is sometimes the vendors themselves don't have their next move planned. They'll sell if they can get the right price in their mind, but they also still need some time to find where they want to move to next. So sometimes longer settlements can actually work for both parties. So I try to get an understanding of the lifestyle and the hobbies and, the kind of activities that would maybe make one suburb stand out better over another one. You might be a keen golfer, you might be a keen surfer, you might like to go bushwalking, you might want to be near the airport because you commute to Sydney all the time, or you might want to drive to Brisbane for work or have family in a certain part of the coast. So all these things, what schools, other hobbies, there's whether you're keen on restaurants and different lifestyle factors that the Gold Coast has to offer. Boating is another big thing, whether you want to get out on the boat every weekend. So there's all these things all come into play. So yeah, I can definitely guide people, to the right suburbs. Everyone's got a wish list, right? And in a hot market, when prices are selling really fast, people tend to bend a lot on their wish list, and they'll say, "Oh well, if it can tick five out of the boxes, I'll still buy the property." When the market gets a bit tougher, there's more stock on the market. That's when buyers feel they can be a little bit more choosy. We don't have that market. We haven't had that market here for 5 years now. It's been pretty hot market, and I'd say even through all these interest rate rises, and now they've plateaued, thankfully, the market hasn't retracted. So I actually suspect that when interest rates actually drop, and they drop nationally, it's they can't just keep the Gold Coast interest rates high. So that probably will create even more of a buyer demand on the Gold Coast. So what we'll probably find is that, the demand will stay high, and so you've got to think a little bit outside the box. There's got to be, quite often there's properties that we can look at that, might not have the right exact criteria right now, but you can see the scope. And being a former builder, I used to buy and renovate homes, and I would, turn garages into, extra living spaces, and then I'd build a new carport or garage on the property, or you can extend on, or things like that. So there's always quite often other opportunities there where, we can find the property if we can be open-minded to how we can create those additional improvements.